Hey everyone, it's Brennan. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. Today I have my March TBR. I love March. It's my birthday month and spring starts. I also just filmed a spring recommendations video, but I love when the leaves start to come back on the trees and the spring flowers start to bloom. It is truly, I think it's my season. Sometimes I think fall is my season, but then spring comes around and I'm like, I actually think this is my season. Summer and winter, it's like two extremes, but give me those medium seasons. I live for that. But I have a super exciting TBR. I have a little readathon that I'm co-hosting that I'll talk about at the end of the video that I'm super excited about. And I have some fun books on this TBR, so let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, Tessa Bailey's Hook, Line, and Sinker book comes out this month. I think it comes out in early March. I hope it comes out in early March. This is the second book to It Happened One Summer, which was super popular last year. So this is Hannah, who was Piper's sister in the first book. And this is her romance with Fox. I think this is going to be more of a friends to lovers. So Fox is one of Brendan's shipmates, but Hannah kind of forces friendship on him because they have to be around each other because Piper and Brendan are together. And I'm super excited for this because I think Hannah, truthfully, sounds like a better heroine than Piper was. I still really liked It Happened One Summer, but Hannah is just more down to earth. I know in the first book she was working at a record store, which I think is super fun, and I'm just so excited to see where this romance goes. And then I want to continue with Lisa Kleypas's Hathaways series, even though the first book kind of, I don't want to say it put me off toward the Hathaways. They are just a lot. Like, they are kind of a mess of a family. So their parents died. That's tragic. And their brother who inherited is like a piece of work. I really need to get his redemption. But he is basically just trying to destroy himself because he lost the woman that he loved a long time ago. Anyway, the second book in the series is Seduce Me at Sunrise. I have this copy of it with this gorgeous step back. This is Win and Kev's story. So Kev is basically an orphan that this family found when he was a child and has just kind of stuck around to be like the muscle of this family. So it's kind of forbidden for one of the ladies of the family, Win, to fall in love with him. But their relationship in the first book was my favorite part of that book. I can barely even remember the couple from the first book. It was like the eldest sister. But Win had an illness, she probably had tuberculosis or something, and she's recovering from it. So she's very delicate. She's a very delicate girl who needs to rest a lot. And then Kev is this brawny, masculine, Romani guy. And I just got the audio of this from the library, so I'm super excited to start it soon. And then Lucy Foley had a new thriller come out, The Paris Apartment, and I haven't read any of her other books. I know The Guest List was super popular, and I just feel like I should read The Guest List and The Hunting Party before I read her new thriller. So I'm going to read all three of those this month and hopefully vlog it. Hopefully I can read all three of those. So I put holds on all of the audios and I've already gotten The Guest List, but The Hunting Party's hold is 6 weeks for me still. The Paris Apartment, my hold on it is 2 weeks now. So that's super doable. But I really want to read all these thrillers. The Guest List and The Hunting Party sound pretty similar. With The Guest List, there's a wedding that takes place on this isolated island, and at the beginning of it, you know someone has died at the reception, but you don't know who. And then you're getting the timeline before the wedding and just learning about these very unlikable characters who are guests at this wedding. So it sounds fun to know that there's a murder, but don't know who was murdered. And then obviously you don't know who did it or what their motives were. And then The Hunting Party sounds really similar, except they're on a hunting excursion and it sounds wintry. that one does. And then with The Paris Apartment, her newest release, our heroine is down on her luck and she asks her brother for a place to stay, and she shows up at her brother's apartment after he was like, sure, you can come stay with me, and he's not there and she doesn't know where he is. And I think she finds out some shady stuff about his life, and then some of his friends kind of come in and out of her story, and it sounds interesting, and I'm just excited to see where these kind of isolated setting, unreliable narrator stories go. And then also I really want to read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. He has a new thriller coming out later this year. I believe it may be closer to the summer, and I would really like to have all of his backlist read before his newest thriller comes out. I need to read Home Before Dark and Final Girls, and I think those are the only two of his that I'm missing, and I have really high hopes for this one. This has very big Haunting of Hill House vibes. I feel like I overuse the word vibes, and I'm really trying not to do that. But our female main character, because Riley Sager cannot write a book that does not have the main perspective from a female. I don't know, like, does that stick out to you all? I don't know. Let me know. But our heroine in this, her dad wrote a story, I believe, or he made some kind of content about their time that they spent in this haunted house, and she doesn't know if it was real or not. So this is more like The Haunting of Hill House, the TV show, versus The Haunting of Hill House, the actual book by Shirley Jackson. I think it is a book, and then I think we may get segments of that book within this book, which just sounds like so much fun. And then I'm going to read some mafia romance. I have never read a mafia romance before. Does that surprise you? That surprises me about myself. I went to read Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger. I have this on Prime reading right now, and Jessica from Peace Love Books just read it for a Touch Her and I'll Kill You video, like heroes who have that feel to them. I need more of that in my life. I've actually read the first couple chapters of this book. So our heroine had a fiance who stood her up the day before their wedding 5 years ago. I say stood her up, but he actually went missing. So he went missing the day before their wedding 5 years ago. And that has really affected her. She's basically like barely living her life because of her sadness from this. So it's the 5-year anniversary of her fiance's disappearance, and a mysterious guy comes into their town, and I guess he's gonna have mafia ties, and I think she's going to learn more about her fiance's past. So this sounds super interesting, and I am so ready for a hero that will just knock down, drag out over his heroine. And then I put this next book on here, but now I don't know if I'll actually read it. It's Midnight Pleasures by Eloisa James. It's the second book in her Pleasures series, and I just today finished the first book. And I don't know if it's just like these books are, I don't want to call them too old. So the first book was written in 2000. So it's over 20 years old now. And the hero in it was just so mean. And I love a mean hero. But he like wouldn't let our heroine speak up for herself when he was accusing her of things, and he would like call her names and then like the next day regret everything and be like, oh, by the way, I'm sorry about that. And she'd be like, it's okay, I love you. I didn't love that dynamic. I loved the society pieces of it though, and I really want to know how her friend Sophie, who this next book I believe is about, she's like very vivacious and like really taxes her parents' nerves. Like they just want her to be a lady, and she's like, I actually don't want to do that. And she just like wants to learn all these cool things, and she basically just like tempts everyone around her. And it sounds fun, and it's in the Audible Plus catalog, which is why I listened to the first one. So we'll see if I like really get through all my audiobooks. This is like the lowest priority audiobook for me this month. And then I am co-hosting a readathon with Amanda from Ginger Snapped Reads, Sarah from Sarah Shelves, and Lachlan from Locke's Library. This is just like a short and sweet St. Patty's weekend readathon, and Amanda basically just like accosted us in Instagram messages and was like, hey, we're doing a readathon, and we were all like, This sounds amazing. It's the Let's Get Lucky readathon. It is going to be from March 17th to March 20th. So just a few days, kind of like a long weekend. I'm going to put up the prompt card that Manda made. So the prompts are read a monster romance. I just feel like monster romances have gotten super popular over the last like 6 months or so, and I have not read one yet, so now's my time. The next prompt is buddy read. So talk with your friends, pick a book, read it together, read some of the books that we're reading, and chat with us about it. It is just so fun to do a buddy read. It just like really elevates the reading experience, you know? And then another prompt is read a book with an Irish character. You can definitely get some mafia romances with this one. And then the next prompt is read a book with a bearded character. You know, all you have to do is go to my girl Penny Reed. She has her entire Winston Brothers series, which is based on beards essentially. And then the next prompt is group book. And our group book, we are blessing you all. Our group book is I Married a Lizard Man by Regine Abel. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if you need to know anything else other than the title. It can definitely tick the box for that monster romance. And I think this is like on a different planet. I don't know a lot about this other than it has excellent reviews on Goodreads. So don't sleep on this book. Read it with us. This can be your buddy read. Read it with us for this readathon. The next prompt is read a book with a green cover. Hello, Lizard Man, look no further. And the next prompt is St. Patty's Day buzzword. So a book with a word in the title like lucky, gold, Irish, Ireland, beer, cheers, just like different St. Patty's Day words that come to mind. You can do whatever you want with this, like literally anything. And then the last prompt is billionaire romance. Another great way to utilize Kindle Unlimited. This is not an ad. I actually don't even have Kindle Unlimited. I'll probably get it for this because there's just too much goodness in Kindle Unlimited, you know? And I do usually just like, I've bought several Kindle Unlimited books because they do tend to be cheaper, and a lot of the times they'll go on sale for like 99 cents or $1.99. But it's probably time to join the Kindle Unlimited club. So besides I Married a Lizard Man, the other book on my TBR is Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. This book is super short. I have this super cute Hello Lovely cover of this. And this is a monster romance. And it has to do with minotaurs. So our heroine, I believe she's a human, and she gets a job on this minotaur farm. And I've heard this is like a great slow burn and like actually super sweet. So I'm really excited. It sounds really wild, and I want to know. I just want to know what this book is about. And then for an Irish mafia romance, I want to read Crow by A. Zimmerelli. Is that Zavarelli? A. Zavarelli. This is a mafia romance, and I think our heroine is trying to find her best friend. I think her best friend went missing, and she thinks she was like sold into human trafficking maybe, and she's trying to get in with the mafia or with like a shady underbelly of society. So she's like fighting people, like she's in a fighting ring, and I know she's like beating up guys and is a total baddie, and I want that in a heroine. So I'm just so excited about that readathon. Again, it is March 17th through the 20th. Hang out with us. We'll probably do some reading sprints and just have a really fun monster romance time. But let me know if any of these books are on your radar. Let me know if you've read any of them and what you thought about them. Comment down below a shamrock because we are coming in to St. Patty's season. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.